Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, not only are we talking about booking your flight, but booking through Priceline. Is it worth it? So for those of you who don't know, Priceline is an online travel agency that specializes in booking flights, cars, hotels, cruises, all of that great stuff for you. But from my experience, I used Priceline to book a flight to North Carolina for my cousin's baby shower. And the reason I chose Priceline is because I wanted an affordable flight. Now, normally I try to book through Delta, and what happened with that was I waited pretty late to the last minute to book the flight, and the price just kept increasing and increasing. And personally, I don't like paying more than $200 for a flight. That's just me. No. So, Priceline. Found Priceline, went onto their website. They have deals that are like 50 to 80% off of your flight deal. And of course, like everything, my experience booking through Priceline had its pros and cons. So first, let's get to the pros. Booking through Priceline can save you up to 40% off of your flight ticket. For me, when I tried to book through Delta's website, their flights from Detroit to North Carolina were about $300-400. But when I went to Priceline, their tickets were about $120 cheaper than that. So, y'all already know who I went with. That right there alone is extremely tempting. Secondly, they have a great selection of the possible flights that you can choose. I know since they're super cheap, some people may immediately think Spirit, but that is not the only option for you to fly through. They have United, Delta, Southwest, all of those. It's not always bad airlines that you will be flying through. Don't think just because the tickets are extremely cheap, I won't say extremely, fairly cheap, that you're automatically going to be flying with Spirit, because you may be paying Spirit prices for a United flight, and that's all right. Another great thing that I loved about Priceline is that the carry-on bag information, and there is a possibility of you choosing your own seat. Now, you know when you book through certain airlines, only some of them, and depending on what kind of ticket you get, whether it's economy or economy plus like with Delta, but that is what determines whether or not you can choose your seat. Well, on Priceline, it will let you know, and I'll try and put a picture up here. It will let you know if you can have carry-on bags, how many, and if you can choose your own seat. That's pretty great. Now, if it doesn't say the seat check is included, then you're not picking your own seat. And lastly, this was already a given, but it is great for booking last minute flights. For me, this was very last minute. This is the only reason that I decided to book through Priceline. I had to be in North Carolina in a couple days. So it is very convenient for booking last minute because they have those great deals that you don't want to break the bank because you need to go out of town, especially for family. Typically on any other airline, when you try to book a last minute flight, the price is likely to be high. I had to fly out 2 days after I decided to book my flight with Priceline, and any other time with any other airline, that is going to cost you. But with Priceline, they try to find you the most affordable flight, and you save your coins. Doesn't get any better than that. Or does it? Let's get to the cons. Now, this is specifically for the express deal tickets. On Priceline, they have express deals and they have cheap deals. The express deals are going to be the cheapest of the cheapest on Priceline's website. The cheap deals, they may be cheaper than what's listed on normal airlines' websites, but they are not going to be as cheap as the express deal. So with the express deal, you only get approximate information about your flight. And when I say approximate, I mean you don't know that your flight is going to be leaving at 6:45 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Who knows? You don't know exactly what time your flight is going to depart until you pay that money for the ticket. So what Priceline does, it gives you an approximate departure time. It'll say morning takeoff between 6 a.m. and 2 p.m. And then it could also say late night arrival between 3 p.m. and 12 a.m. So it gives you an approximate flight arrival and departure until you pay that money. Now, once you do actually pay the money for your ticket, it will give you those details, but you just have to make sure you're not on a tight time frame and that you're okay with the range that they give you, because you don't want to risk it all and book a certain flight time, and then you actually pay the money and you see that your flight leaves at 3 instead of earlier, and it just throws you all off. And you also won't know exactly what airline you'll be flying through until you make that payment. But as I mentioned earlier, they will give you an array of flights that are a possibility for you. So they may show the United icon, the Spirit icon, the Delta icon, just to tell you you may be flying through one of these airlines, but you won't know for sure until you give us our money. Lastly, booking through Priceline. Layovers are likely. Again, this is another approximate detail that they aren't too specific about. With my flight, it said you may have 0 to 1 layovers. I ended up having layovers. I ended up having a layover to North Carolina and from North Carolina. That was it wasn't too bad. It was about an hour. So this is another thing that you have to be willing to risk if you are booking through Priceline. Now, of course, if you choose the cheap deals instead of the express deals, you will have all of this information and you can avoid layovers. It will let you know whether the flight is nonstop or not. But again, express deals, they are the cheapest deals on Priceline, and cheap deals are not. Also, the baggage fees are not included in the price that is shown on the express deals. So if you think that you are going to need to check a bag instead of just using a carry-on, this is another risk that you will be taking by booking the express deals on Priceline, because they don't let you know exactly who you will be flying with, so you don't know exactly how much it will be to check your bag in. But if you are deciding to do a carry-on, normally they will let you know, hey, carry-on bags are included, so there won't be any extra fees with that. But if you decide to check a bag, there will be an additional fee. So prepare for that. Okay, so you guys have heard the pros of Priceline and the cons of Priceline. Now we have to decide, is it worth it? My opinion is this is great if you have a last minute flight that you need to book and you are trying to save your coin. But if you are planning a trip, like I normally love to do, I do not prefer to go through a travel agency such as this, because I just feel like, especially with the express deals, like there's too much hidden information that I would need to know. Now, with this particular trip to North Carolina, I just wanted to be there for my cousin, so it didn't really matter. I just needed a cheap flight that would get me there and get me back. So I would not choose to book through Priceline on a regular basis. Now, if I'm in a crunch like I was this time, where I need a flight and I need it quick and I need it cheap, then I will book through Priceline. But ultimately, it is up to you and your preferences. If you don't mind layovers, if you don't mind not knowing who you're flying through, if you don't mind the extra baggage fees but not knowing how much that price is until after you pay, then more power to you. But for me, I do prefer Delta. I am a, what is it called? Is it Delta Rewards? Yes, Sky Miles. So I like for my points to stack up so that I can get me a free trip eventually. But again, if you are in a crunch, go to Priceline, okay? You will save 40% or more on your flight ticket. And hey, if you booking last minute, Priceline got you. That is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are not already, please hit that subscribe button, join the family, don't miss out on our videos. And if you like this video, give this one a thumbs up. I'll see you guys next time.